More potato fun time. Sorry about that. I am busy and I don't have time to do the regular thing. So, yeah, remember the beautiful Heath HF-158 XT class machine from that other video where everything plugs into this backplane, and it's a beautiful machine. And I had commented that I have enough XT class machines around here in various places to choke a buzzard off a gut wagon. But it was so cool that I couldn't pass it up when I saw how much it cost. So it's cool, but it would be nice if it were more useful. But since it's a backplane computer, that opens up some options, such as somebody will probably whip my ass for even suggesting this, but this is a Pentium 4 2.4 gigahertz industrial backplane computer that I happened across for a somewhat reasonable price, in my opinion. And I imagine we can just pull the CPU and the two CPU cards out of that machine and plug this in. Of course, it's an 8-bit backplane, so we'll only be able to plug in, the 8-bit section of the card, but that should be enough for it to draw power and talk to that Heath voice card, which will be cool. But I do need to do a few things before we can make that work, namely, there's an auxiliary power connector here. It's a regular old ATX option power connector. But I will have to make 12 volt option power connector, I meant to say. I'll have to make an adapter so I can split that off of one of the Molex connectors going like probably to the 3.5-inch disk drive to plug in there to help power the thing. And the big problem is that the keyboard for this thing is an XT keyboard, and it's not entirely XT compatible either. But fortunately, well, I shouldn't say fortunately. Well, I guess it's a mixed bag. Some of those bozos that like to steal the keyboards off of vintage machines and put like Mega 32s in them and use them for gaming rigs have written some software that can translate that Heath/Zenith XT keyboard into USB using like a Arduino Leonardo or third-party knockoff. And it does have a USB header, so I think I can make one of those like internally and make the keyboard work with this. I'll have to get like an internal USB hub or something too, because we'll need some more USB ports on the back, and it's only got that one connector. And I don't have all the parts I need for that yet. I don't have any female DIN 5 connectors, and I don't want to modify the keyboard. I want this all to be reversible, see, so I can like take the cards out, put them in an anesthetic bag in a box, and label them. So when I get mauled by a bear or some shit, and one of you lucky people that's close by gets all of my shit, you'll know where to find the shit to put it back how it's supposed to be. But Pentium 4 2.4 gigahertz single core machine. This particular board can address a maximum of 4 gigabytes of RAM. That's a lot for an old computer, but it's not very much for like modern use. But I think that's okay because this is an interesting board in that it has 2 serial ports and a parallel port built into it. Gigabit Ethernet, VGA, 2 parallel ATA interfaces, 2 SATA interfaces, a floppy drive controller. So this will be an interesting bridge machine. It's fast enough to run a modern Linux distribution, decently. But it also has all of the hardware for interacting with old media. So I think that'll be nice niche for this machine to fill, and yeah, that's what I was originally going to use the Prolinia for. But this, I mean, the Prolinia is cool and all, you know, but this thing, Heathkit, man, Heath, much cooler. Yeah, I can see now that I'm going to have to do something different with this stabilizer bracket. I don't want to cut on this one because if I remove this material, it won't be very strong anymore. This upper part's really thin, but I think I can probably make something else that'll go across here, and it's pretty obvious that this thing's going to need some support. I mean, there's the CPU fan back here on the back of this, and that's awful wobbly. So it's going to need something else. Maybe I can 3D print something. I've been meaning to learn how to use that modeling software anyway. I'll just make a little something that'll connect this metal bracket onto something in here. I'll probably move it over to this slot on this side and make a piece that spans from this little hole over to that. It kind of holds it on there or something. Here's a little teaser for some other stuff for some other time. Maybe sometime tonight. I don't know. Fun. All right. See ya.